Hello and welcome to Pro Trader Strategies Market Commentary for Tuesday, May the 8th. My name's Eric Wilkinson. Some of you may recognize me as the Wolfman from CNBC, Fox Business, or even the Wall Street Journal for my commentary on everything from economic to geopolitical and market analysis. Please keep in mind that everything that we talk about in these market commentaries is not a solicitation to buy or sell any of these securities or strategies. At the end of the day, I'm here to just teach you how to implement these strategies into your portfolios, but you should do that in your own way. The reason why I can't give you a recommendation on a particular stock or strategy is because I don't know your risk parameters. I don't know what's in your portfolios, and therefore what I'm doing could be counterintuitive to what you are already doing. And please remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, having that out of the way, let's get it on with some economic data. Well, this week, believe it or not, we don't have a whole lot of economic data to go on. There's a lot of economic data, don't get me wrong, but it's not really robust or important economic data, let's say. At least not some of the most important data that we're going to be wanting to look at. Industrial production did come back out of Germany. Last month it came in at negative 1.7%. Remember, it was expected to be 0.8% this month, and it increased to 1%, so better than expected on that front. We also had Powell speaking earlier today here in the United States. He is a Fed governor. Actually, he was probably overseas, but it was early this morning. And then we got the NFIB, which is the National Federation of Independent Businesses. It's a small business index, came in at 104.8, expected to be 105.2, so pretty much in line with expectations there. And then we also got the IBD tip economic optimism came in at 53.5, expected to be 51.3. It's not really a super important number, but anything above 50 is good. Is a good outlook, I should say. And then President Trump is speaking later on today, right after the close, it looks like. All right, on to the overall markets. Because we don't have a whole lot of data to go on, it's just kind of like where the market is going to push these underlyings. We've got crude oil coming off quite a bit today, over $2.60. You can see yesterday kind of looking like a top. Today we have the confirmation all the way down to below Friday's low. So the 70s just not really being accepted by the overall market, at least as of right now. Just people are not comfortable with those 3-year highs, I don't believe. We don't want to see these gasoline prices go up right now, because I don't believe we're really seeing the demand for crude oil. If there was a lot of demand there, it is a future, so it is forward looking, but I just don't see that much demand coming in 2018, at least to really drive it above 70 too much. I think right around this between 50 and 70 is probably the right location for the economic data that we're getting. So crude oil coming back off, short-lived $70 mark. Gold coming back off also. Dollar continues to rise. We're seeing the gold futures suffer from that. Plus, equities started looking pretty good, and that is when we're going to see that rollover. Also, remember, in this is the area where Putin was buying 2,000 tons of gold. After he got done, the market basically came off, as they were the supporting factor for the gold futures. Bitcoin coming off again. We talked about this yesterday. That little top looks like it's confirmation. It did settle above the 9-day and the 23 Fibonacci level, which kind of probably made some of the bears a little bit nervous, but today we are starting to move back below. We are at the point of control, so it is a very comfortable area for traders to trade at. But I still believe that we need to go down and test this 58.80 level just to make sure that is a solid base rather than just a touch and go. Bonds coming off by about a half a point again today. As the economic data is slow to come in, it's going to really be which direction to the equities want to go, and is the tail wagging the dog, or is the dog going to wag the tail, is kind of the thing. And I think that the equities being the dog in this situation, that they are going to wag the tail, and if they move higher, bonds are going to suffer a little bit for that. VIX, we can say it's unchanged. It's not quite 15s anymore. I want to see those 15s all day long, but starting to move up a little bit today. with a mixed bag in equities, as we can see here with the Dow Jones Industrial Average up a point on the day, clawing its way back into positive territory. And then we look at the NASDAQ, still probably the biggest lagger of the day for equities, up, down about 13 points. You know, one could say this is starting to look like a bit of a top there also in equities, as we'll see across the line here with the E-mini S&Ps, the way it was setting up, and today with the market coming down. If it finishes down here around 2650, let's call it, that's going to look like a pretty good confirmation of a top, and market might want to roll over. Right now, with these two opposing dojis, if they finished up somewhere around right now, even if it was a green one, right there where it is right now, that would be one of those two opposing dojis where you have a spinning top doji and say a hangman doji. Those are counter-opposing, like mirror image. That would lead one to believe that a continuation is in order anytime you get those two dojis back-to-back on one another. It's not really a confirmation. All right, let's look at the E-mini S&Ps on the daily chart. You can see overnight inventory pretty much flat on the day. It started to get short, but into today's session, we got those shorts flushed out. So now the market's flushed out the overnight inventory. That's usually a good sign that they can start making the move that they want to make, in a sense. So that being said, all of this is going to be determined on today's settlement. We get a massive sell-off at the end of the day. It's going to look very toppish. Right here or higher, it's going to look like a continuation pattern to the upside. All right. Having said that, I haven't done anything today, but this is what I'm looking to do. Is EA Sports playing it to the upside? Yes, it doesn't look too great with this doji right here, but I think that a good earnings report could do well for EA Sports. Kids are still playing online games almost all day. I'm sure your kids are driving you nuts that you are trying to get them out of the house so that they can get out and enjoy the weather and get away from the computer screen, as the same with my kids. But EA Sports, I'm going to play to the upside, as well as Disney. I think they've opened up a new theme park. I think it's done very well. A lot of my friends have actually gone down there specifically for that and have been traveling during spring break and things of that nature. Now we're getting into summer. People are going to be ramping up to go do that again. So I think that forward guidance on Disney, despite the fact that most people are kind of giving out bad forward guidance, I think Disney's going to do very well, and I'm going to play it to the upside also. You know, we get a massive sell-off at the end of the day, towards the end of the day. That might change my mantra, but right now I'm looking at equities moving higher. I'm going to play the path of least resistance with these, both to the upside. That's it for today. Friday's webinar is no longer. I'm not going to keep you guys around on your weekend, in a sense, after the markets close on a Friday anymore. We're going to be moving that one day forward on time or on Thursdays. Now, Thursdays at 4:15 Eastern. That's when my webinars are, all right? 4:15 Eastern, Thursdays. Put it down in your books. And we're going to be doing it on the short call butterfly. Really good one. I'm going to be talking about all the rules, directional analysis, everything, what your directional assumption needs to be when implementing this strategy. Higher probabilities, how do you set it up? Yeah, you can go online and figure out how to set up a short call butterfly. I'm not going to lie. Go out there and do it. Do it before my webinar. And then when I do my webinar, I will show you how different the world is of options from the way I teach it and what you're going to find online. Because I'm going to teach you how to implement that strategy with high probabilities, when to take it off. You're not going to find that stuff online. So check it out at protraderstrategies.com. Sign up for my webinar. That's Thursday, all right? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, like or dislike at the bottom of this in the comments or whatever. If you give me a dislike, though, let me know what I'm doing wrong so I can fix those, all right? That's all I got for you. If you can't take that, take it easy.